Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Uh, Today I'm bringing a topic which is really important when you are in analytics, and there are certain rules where you directly apply this particular thing. And so the topic is fraud detection. I have seen many job openings, especially in fintech companies, regarding fraud detection analyst. So what does a fraud analyst do? So actually, when we deal with lots of data online, whether it's finance related, or let's say you are working for a booking platform like Agoda, Booking.com. So what happened? Sometimes some fraudsters use other details to make those booking block those bookings for to harm the performance of the company. And later, I mean, this is certainly work towards destroying the reputation of the company and also financial losses. So this is what fraudster do. And as a fraud analyst, our job is to flag those data in regulars data, so we can avoid all those things that harm the company performance or the platform performance. So today I'm bringing a simple scenario, how you can work as a fraud analyst. So let's say you have data related to card transaction for a certain users. They were using cards to make transaction. So how you gonna flag the a fraud in that data? I mean, there's a lots of people using cards or any mode of payment. So how you can find that, okay, this particular payment or transaction was uh, a normal transaction, it was a kind of fraud. So there's two, I mean, there are multiple way to flag that, but I'll share two types. One is time interval and location. For example, a user, you done a transaction from a location, and insert in between a few minutes another transaction happened with the same user information, but the location was different. So that is something can be seen as a fishy, and you can flag those data as a fraud. Another one is irregularity in terms of transaction amount. If you have a data for, let's say, user A for, let's say, past 5 years, and you have observed that there is a range, certain range where users spend or done the transaction in certain range, let's say 500 to 5000 INR. But you suddenly see that last few transaction has been about more than 5000 or less than 500, and then again regular transaction. So that can be possible that user has bought or sent some amount higher than 5000 or lower than 500, but that is something uh, seen as an outlier. So that can be flagged as a fraud initially, to look more into that data. But yeah, so this is a way how to do fraud analysis. So today, the kind of method I am going to use is location based in a certain time period. So we have a table. Let me show you the table. Yeah, so this is the table. We have transaction ID, we have user ID, we have card number, we have amount, location, and transaction type. So here we will try to find out the fraud transaction based on difference in location in a certain time period interval of time. I mean, that can be possible that as an user, I made a transaction in Delhi today, and after 2 days, I'm making a transaction in Bangalore. That is completely possible. But what if a transaction happened today at 10 a.m., and then in half an hour another transaction happen in Bangalore with the same detail, that is something need to look on. So that's what method I'm going to use. So I'll because we have a same single table, so we have to bring every data from this particular table. So what I will do, I will try to do self join. So we I can find two location, initial and the last next location, and try to find the difference between those location transaction time. So see, so I can notice that how bigger the time difference is. I mean, if it's a too big time difference, that can be possible. But if the time difference is quite low, then that is something need to address. So let's run the sorry let's write the query. So select, just keep it lower, select. So I'll bring user id. So I'll give its table name was t1, so t1 dot user id. Then again the card number is same, so it doesn't matter t1 or t2. T1 dot card number, card number. Then now I need to bring both of the locations, so t1 location and t2 location. So t1 dot location as location 1, t2 dot location as location 2, and time difference. So timestamp def, and try to find this time difference between two times in minutes, so that will be easier to observe. So minute, t1 dot transaction time, and I'll just copy it and change. So here it's t2 as time diff. Now from transaction 1, sorry t1, and I have to do self join, so I'll use again this table and I will use inner join. So inner join with this, inner join t2 on t1 dot card number, because we are using same card details. So card number equals t2 dot card number. Also we use the transaction I and yeah, and also we need to focus on the transaction id. So how transaction id will focus, we will see that t1 dot transaction id should be lesser than t2 dot transaction id, right? That means the initial transaction will be considered in the first table and the later transaction considered in the second table. So and just here, and t1 dot transaction id is to t2 dot transaction id. And also we need to add some more filters here. So now we have card number, same card number. Transaction ID should be, sorry, I used equal, should be less than. So yeah, you have not valid expecting T1 no transaction T2. Let me write it first. So okay, so yeah, so now we have the T1 transaction ID is less than T2 transaction ID. Now, also, as I mentioned earlier, that we need to look for a certain time difference. I mean, the time difference should not be bigger. So we have to specify that what time difference we are looking for, how minutes of difference we are looking for. That if a difference of time, if less than this and still happening the transaction in two different places, that is a kind of fraud. So I'll copy this. Let's see, and I'll use absolute function over it. So if the time, there can be minus negative value happen, so to deal with that, I'm using absolute. And now I'll use that should be less than equal to. And now it's on you how small the time difference you want. Uh, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 hours. That is depend on you. So for this particular question, I'll try to uh, check for let's say 20 minutes. So if the time difference is less than equal to 20 minutes and the different places are different, I'll consider it is a fraud. And another last filter is the location should not be same. So yeah, t1 dot location should not equal to t2 dot location. Now we have the filter, and last thing I will order the result, so we can have all the data in sorted order. So sorry, order by, I'll use user ID first and then time difference. So t1 dot user ID and time diff. So now we will see what is the output. So if I run this, no, I'll run this. Let's see. Okay, what is there anything I need to check? Okay, unknown column T2 locations. Oh, where is T2 locations? Location. Oh, sorry. It should work now. Yeah. So now if you see, user ID 1 has the card detail this, and it has one transaction in Delhi, another one in Mumbai, and the time difference between both these two transactions was just 4 minutes, and this is not possible. And same, I mean, there's a way to possible. I don't think this is a way to possible. I mean, you even if you provide a card detail to someone else, uh, yeah, that is a different way, but yeah, we are looking in certain ways. So yeah, so and user ID 3 is this card detail, one transaction happened in Chennai, another one happened in Hyderabad, and the time difference between them was just 7 minutes. So if we look here main table, so if you see user ID 1, the and the date is, yeah, 1st September 2025. First transaction happened at around 10 a.m. in Delhi, then happened 12 a.m. in Delhi, then happened 1 a.m., 1 p.m., sorry, in Delhi, and about 1 past 4, another transaction happened in of around 1800 rupees in Mumbai, and the time difference was just 4 minutes. And now, if you see that for second, all the transaction happened in Bangalore, so no issue. For third, this is first transaction happened in Chennai uh, around 2 p.m. and another transaction happened in Hyderabad around 2 past 7. Sorry, 7 past. So yeah, so these were some results we needed to flag as a fraud, so the team can look more into that and find out if it is really happening or it was a fraud or something else, so we can highlight it and inform to the user. So yeah, so this is a way to do fraud detection, and this is really important topic. If you are interested going into this particular field, there are lots of job in this particular field. So yeah, so this was one of the query I wanted to share with you, and you can practice it again and you can create certain scenario